Lainey may have been upsetting the little creature. And so the point is, I was speaking aloud because I wanted Lainey to hear what I was saying, and I was here to help her with the spirits and that the bird should return to the meal. And she did. Now I heard a female spirit presence say to Lainey, I am so sorry that I was such a weakling and didn't protect you. Now, when I repeated the word weakling to Lainey, it struck me as an odd term, certainly not one that I have ever used. And I sensed that it was Lainey's mother, from that, yes, it was her mother speaking, and she said that her mother always used the word weakling. And I've come to realize that not only Jean, but all spirits validate their presence by using figures of speech that were idiosyncratic to them. It's a way of validating they're talking to you. Now I heard her mother expanding on her previous message, and she said, I'm so sorry that I couldn't protect you from your father. And I said, there's a man who wants to speak to you, and he wants you to know you're safe. He can't hurt you anymore. Now, as I said that, I felt my eyes being drawn to a cranberry-colored blown glass ball hanging from the ceiling. And I was momentarily confused because I'd purchased an identical item as a gift for someone around 5 years before. But in that moment, I couldn't recall to whom I'd given it. And I asked Lainey if I'd given the ornament to her, and she said no, that she'd bought the witching ball to protect her from the spirit of her father. I then realized that her father had drawn my attention to the ball as a way to get her to talk about her ongoing fear of him. I'm still afraid of him, Lainey said to me. And her dad said, I'm not asking you to forgive me for your own sake as well as mine. All I ask is that you confront me. Now is the time to make me face up to what I did to you. Don't protect me. You need this for your own healing, and I need you to help me face the truth in order for me to evolve spiritually. Now, this experience was a first for me, and it utterly amazed me. And here is the beauty of this process. As you help your loved one in spirit to evolve, you're helping yourself. As my example shows, Lainey remained frozen in time, trapped in childhood because the feelings associated with the trauma she suffered as a child hadn't been resolved. So she continued to drown in the terror of a young girl who doesn't feel safe. And dialoguing with her dad through me was just what she needed to help them both heal and evolve. And by the time I left that day, Lainey was already standing taller and felt less afraid of her father, and her little birdie made it too. So, you know, when I did the Love Never Dies show on Hay House Radio, one of the things that was so wonderful was to take your live calls and really help you begin your dialogue and healing on air. I want to give you the phone number again if you're listening live. I know most people tell me that they listen to the recorded podcast, but if you are listening live and you would like to begin your healing, I'm here. 833-220-1200. Now, let me talk you through how we begin the process of dialoguing, reconnecting, and then healing. So the first thing we do is we do the visualization to help you enter a trance. You have to be in the superconscious mind state in order to be able to communicate with your loved ones in spirit. Somebody said to me yesterday in a session, we were doing a grief relief session, and she said, you know, I'm really mad that my loved one in spirit is not present to me, never comes to me. And it was so clear to me that he was present, but that her door was closed. And the reason her door was closed is because she'd spent her whole life walling off emotion, not letting people near her because she had been so dreadfully abused in first family. Her mom tried to drown her, a horrendous life. So she was so angry and kept saying, he's not coming to me, he's not coming to me. And I said to her, you know, saying that is like saying that somebody isn't calling me when you've turned your phone off. Your phone is off. So I said, we really need to do the visualization and the meditation for making contact. We need to put you in a trance, because putting you in a trance raises your vibration so that your vibration more closely matches your loved one in spirit. Then it's much more easy to send and receive energetic communications. If your vibration is too low, you're like ships in the night. You just pass each other. So now she said, well, I'm not even able to enter a trance. I know I can't. I've tried, it doesn't work. So I thought, wait a minute, what's going on here? More excuses, more defenses. I said, okay, let's just do it together. The most amazing thing happened. She said that she had monkey mind and couldn't calm her thoughts. So I guided her on one of the meditations in the Love Never Dies book, which is also in the Love Never Dies meditation audio. I've recorded all the meditations from the book in my voice. And I had her do the thought watching meditation. This is an excellent meditation if you find yourself really struggling with monkey mind. So what you do is, as you breathe in and out, and you calm yourself, you begin to watch the thoughts that cross your mental landscape. And each thought that crosses, you don't attach to it. You think of it as a balloon with a string. And you imagine letting go of the string and allowing the thought to just pass by and out of your mental landscape. And then the next thought that comes, you let that pass like a balloon that's floating on by. So I guided her in this meditation. And when I brought her out, what she said to me floored me. She said, I didn't have any thoughts. I said, are you kidding me? This is a state that the mystics on mountaintops spend 80 years to reach, and here you are. And you've been telling me that you are unable to enter a trance? Well, here it is. More of your unconscious defenses that are preventing you from reconnecting to your loved one for fear of being hurt or disappointed. We have so many defense mechanisms that we think are protecting us, but in fact, they are hurting us. And these defense mechanisms made sense when we were kids in abusive families. These were the only mechanisms we could use to protect ourselves. But now, when you hang on to them long after you're out of that family and out of the abuse dynamic, the defenses just keep you in a prison and in a jail and in a state of hunger and deprivation. And the other thing is, whatever defense mechanisms that you habitually use become solidified when you're grieving. Whatever you are becomes more. And this becomes a paradox because when you need to reconnect the most, all your unconscious defenses come up and block you from reconnecting. Like in this case of this woman, oh, I don't know how to meditate. Oh, he's not here. I'm not capable. The defenses go on and on. A week ago in the Love Club, one of the women in the Love Club was so upset that she said her husband, who committed suicide, has left her and doesn't want to talk to her. And I kept thinking, but I feel he wants to talk to you. Why do you keep saying he doesn't? And then it hit me, her defense mechanism is to deny her own anger. She doesn't admit she's angry, and then she externalizes it or projects it onto the other person and says, oh, he's mad at me. When in fact, she's mad at him. She didn't want to talk to him, and she assigned that feeling to him. When I realized that, and I said to her, here's a defense. It's blocking you from reconnecting and healing your unfinished business. He's not mad. He wants to talk to you. You're mad at him. So let's get past this defense. Let's own your anger, and let's talk to him about your angry, unfinished business over him committing suicide and leaving you in a mess. See what I mean? So what we want to do is we want to make sure that you're in as much of a state of receptivity as possible. Now, once we do the meditation and the visualization, and in addition, all your defenses against healing your unfinished business are going to come out. They're all going to come out. And part of the healing comes in helping you to evolve, to grow past your defenses. And the more you shed the defenses, the more you're able to just connect in the naked now, talk about whatever it is that's unfinished, and finish it once and for all. Make sense? Okay. Let me give you the call-in number again just before we go to break. It's 833-220-1200, 833-220-1200, and we'll be back in a moment on Love Never Dies Radio.
Ediesia is a U.S. nonprofit dedicated to the dream of ending childhood malnutrition for millions of children around the world. Through the manufacture of Plumpy Nut and other nutrient-rich, peanut-based, ready-to-use foods, Ediesia has already delivered life and hope to nearly 1 million children in over 26 developing countries. To find out how you can join Edesia's dream of ending childhood malnutrition, please visit edesiaglobal.org.
Looking for a fun and relaxing getaway? Omega Rest and Rejuvenation Retreats are a great way to unwind and renew your spirit. Stroll through the garden, relax by the lake, or try a daily yoga or movement class. You can stretch your body, quiet your mind, and do as much or as little as you choose. Located in Rhinebeck, New York, just 90 miles north of New York City, Omega's natural environment and quiet pace allow for extraordinary experiences to unfold. Learn more at eomega.org.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
You're listening to Love Never Dies with Dr. Jamie Turndorf. If you can't stop crying over the bodily loss of a loved one, Dr. Turndorf's #1 international bestseller, Love Never Dies, How to Reconnect and Make Peace with the Deceased, will show you how to toss out the tissues and transform your grief into joy using her groundbreaking new Dialoguing with the Departed technique that enables you to reconnect and even heal unfinished business with those in spirit without the assistance of a medium, channeler, or psychic. Sign up for Dr. Love's free newsletter at AskDrLove.com and receive an exciting gift, a free excerpt of Love Never Dies. And now, back to Love Never Dies with Dr. Jamie Turndorf.
Welcome back again to Love Never Dies Radio. We're talking about how to heal unfinished business with those in spirit. So I want to take a moment to talk about all the obstacles that we face to even entering into a dialogue with those in spirit. One of the biggies that I've encountered is sexual abuse. When you've been abused by someone, it could be sexual or emotional abuse, there's a fear. Remember in the story I told earlier in the show about Lainey still being afraid of her father who molested her when she was young, still being afraid that he could hurt her. It's irrational. They can't hurt you anymore. But still you're afraid because we get fixated or stuck in those points when we were injured, and we don't really grow past those points. So I want to tell you the story about a woman named Jan, whose dad left home when she was only 8 years old. He never made contact with her from that day on, and she lived in a constant state of fear. And then, decades later, she had a hysterectomy, and then that triggered a mental breakdown, and she was hospitalized. She took all kinds of prescription drugs and suffered from constant panic attacks in spite of all the medications. Now, she fell into a deep depression, and she was working with me at this point. It was, one-on-one therapy. And funny thing is, I had met her in the inpatient psychiatric hospital, I think in 1983, and then decades later, she came to me for private therapy. So here we were dealing with her issues around sexual abuse. Now, let me just put this story on hold for a sec, and let me take a call that's come in. Bob, you don't even need to, get her name. If you want to just put her on air, we'll connect, and I'll ask her name. That's fine. So you want to bring her on air? Cool.
Yep, here she is.
Hello, honey. What's your name?
Hey, my name is Sharon. How are you?
Sharon?
Yes.
That's nice to meet you, Sharon. So tell me how I can help you. It's good to hear your voice, and tell me what I can do to help you.
Yes, I have a question. I work with people and have family and friends who, have lost someone, and been listening to your show, and I'm very intrigued by it, so I really do appreciate it. One question that I have is, can people have unfinished business and don't know it? And when I say people, meaning the